This is the Rebel Scum Podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/RebelScumPodcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You are always scum. Rebel scum.
James, did you look into the Hasbro Pulse event at all that happened last week?
Is that the one where they released the Wedge helmet?
Sure.
I might be making that up. I did not. I think I saw something about a Wedge helmet and something that's coming up and never tell me the odds. But I did not. I'm sorry. Fake fan.
I didn't either. And from what I've looked, I can't see a ton of cool stuff, but whatever. Apparently it was a huge success.
Well, they went all out on the 50th anniversary, Lucasfilm 50th anniversary stuff. I thought they had a really good batch there. I've seen people. I haven't seen any in the stores. Rob picked me up a Jar Jar Binks Black Series, but not the Phantom Menace one. What?
I saw the Jar Jar Binks action figures too, and I was going to bring that up, but continue your story.
Not the 50th anniversary, the Phantom Menace one, just the regular Black Series box one. I haven't seen anything. I went to a Walmart. We're in lockdown in Ontario, but I went to a Walmart before the lockdown, and I didn't see they didn't have any Star Wars figures actually on the shelf. I think they had those like cartoony version, like the small cartoony ones.
Yeah.
In the big box, they had some of those. But when I went to the other side of the aisle and they had, I didn't buy it because I have a lot of Batman stuff, but they had, and I really want it because I'll show you this. So I have this Michael Keaton Batman die-cast Batmobile here.
Oh, sorry.
So you can see it there, they can see it. So yeah, I got that. That was really cool. It was affordable, so I was like, I'll buy it. But they had my favorite one, the Batman Forever Batmobile die-cast. This big. It was that big, and I was like, how do I not get this? And I didn't, and now we're in lockdown and you're not allowed to buy toys. So I guess I'll never get it. Money well saved. So anyway, around here where I look, I cannot find Star Wars stuff to save my life. But Rob called me, goes, they have a Jar Jar. And then he goes, it's on sale. He went to buy it. He goes, it's not on sale, and it's $45. And I said, no, thank you. And then he got it somewhere else on sale for like 20 something. So I said, "Whoa. You buy that now?" And he did. Actually, I think he bought it. I actually think he bought it without me saying, "Go ahead and get it." I think he's like, "Do you want it?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Good. I already got it." I'm pretty sure that's how the conversation went.
I went to Walmart and they had 5 of those Jar Jars.
Wow.
Like, I'll get it for him for like his birthday or whatever. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to scan this just to make sure. $45. I was like,
40.
Get out of here! Like, I'm sorry if my levels just went up, but like, it's a fantastic looking figure. But like,
no,
I know we talk about this all the time. Like Black Series, it's like it's a quality figure, and it's always been expensive. It's not going after kids; it's going after people like us, and kids that have money. I was just like blown away because it's like it's any typical Black Series figure in a nice box. Like, kudos to whoever makes Black Series.
But those are the new boxes, though.
Hasbro. But, like, yeah, like, it's just like, it's a box. Who cares? Like, it super awesome. But, like, especially if you buy it at Walmart, like, there's a very good chance those boxes get dinged and what have you because they get handled in that. But, yeah, I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, that should be 2 figures or, like, a figure that has, like, an extra thing, right?
So when I was into the Elite Series collecting, I stopped at the just before the Last Jedi. The May the 4th, I lost I was unemployed, so I was like, I can't waste my money on this anymore. But I went and I got a Rogue One, all the Rogue Ones, and I think I got some after, and then I stopped. But when I first started to get those, they were like $24. They were the same price as Black Series. And then they creeped up to a little bit more. They crept up to like I think $30, and I was like, oh my god. And then when Force Awakens came out, they went. I think around that time they went up to like 35, and I was like, this is pushing. And I know the Grievous one was more expensive, but it's also, if you've seen the Grievous one, it's actually really. It's like the size of two figures. It's pretty big. So I was like, whatever, that's bigger. But then it started to get to 35, and I was like, you're really pushing it in that. And then then I had to stop. So the only one I have from The Last Jedi is the Praetorian Guard, which Fantasia picked up for me from Celebration, because that was one that I wanted the most out of all this. I would have got them all, like if I was able to. Yeah, but that was one I wanted the most. And I have 2 Darth Mauls and 2 Anakins, and they're awesome. But 30, I thought, like, I don't know. There's 35 was pushing it for me, and now you're like asking 45 for a figure that I don't.
Like if I was at a comic book store and I saw that price, I'm like, I get it. But Walmart? So that means if you were to buy it at like an independent store, it'd probably be about 50 or 55, so they can actually make some income off of it.
Or they're forced to sell it at 45.
Yeah, true. Like
and then not just Walmart. I'm talking like the other store too could be forced to sell at 45, and they make even less profit on it. Yeah,
it's just like, oh man, because it was cool. Like that's the fun part. Like you find it, I'm like, oh yeah. Like I don't like. The like thing, it is weird being an adult man and walking down the toy aisle, but like, man, every once in a while you find some cool stuff, but you have to go there every time and check it out.
That's how I found that Batman. I thought that Batman was really cool. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was like,
there's stuff there that you don't hear about unless you walk down the aisle. Like there was some cool like DC character things where they kind of like stretch Armstrong, but like Batman and Superman and Flash.
Yeah, I think I've seen
and I'm like, that's cool. I didn't buy them, but I was like, those are cool.
If I go down there, usually what'll happen is I have a nephew that I can pretend that I'm shopping for, so that always helps. But sometimes I'll pick him up something. But yeah, I've shown you my Batman figure collection that I got obsessed with, and I got some pretty sick ones. But even those are cheaper than the Black Series, and I would argue that they're just as nicer than a lot of the Black Series. So I don't know. It's the Star Wars brand that like they want too much for.
The Black Series has always been like that. I don't know. It's frustrating because it's like these are the action figures we dreamed about as kids. You're like, oh, wow. So yeah, it's for Jar Jar Binks. It'd be cool to have on the shelf, but like if it's not a stormtrooper for me, it's like you gotta. That's like I've said it to you before. It's like. You gotta have limits. It's like, that looks cool. So I don't know. It's especially with Funko Pops, you're just like, wow, that's so cool. And like, there's like a store now at Square One, Mississauga. It's a mall. At a board game store of all places that has a full wall of pops and then a whole section of exclusives. I'm like, wow.
There's a store like that in Belleville.
Oh yeah, it's a whole industry.
Not that I go there,
wild.
but No, not to the store, to Belleville. I don't go to Belleville often. But I was in the Belleville Mall like a year or two ago, before the pandemic. And I was like, what the hell store is this? And it was just walls of Funko Pops. I'm like, where am I?
Yeah.
And
but it's interesting too. I don't know if if this happened in your neck of the woods in Peterborough. You don't really go into town much anymore, right? A whole bunch of like the EBs in Mississauga gone. Like our electronic boutique, our video game store.
So, from what I heard, there were 3 at one point, but when I moved here, there were 2. The good one closed down.
Okay.
The other one was good. Like the one that's open is in a mall, so it makes sense. It's smaller. It still has stuff, but the big one was. I gotta say, the big one was probably the size of like the Square one. It wasn't massive, but it was way bigger than the mall one.
It was big, yeah.
And that one always had like. You'd walk in, you're like, oh my god, like something's crazy in there.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be there. And the I don't know if he's just an employee or a manager or whatever. He was always there. I feel like he was Mr. EB. He was like the nicest guy, and he knew everything about every single thing in the store. And I'd be like, hey, what about this? He goes, we have it in stock. Like when I got my Sega Genesis Mini, I'm like, I really want the Sega Genesis Mini, and no one had it at that time. And he goes, well, someone put it on hold. He's not coming in though. I'll just sell you his. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. He's not. He orders things and doesn't show up. And I was like, whatever. I'll take it. So I've got somebody's Sega Genesis Mini. that I play Castlevania. All I do is, you know what? I realize now I'm older, and all I do is play Castlevania on my Nintendo Switch, my Sega Genesis, my Mini NES, my Super Mini.
Castlevania was on Sega Genesis.
It's on everything. Yeah, it's
Huh.
just, you just play something like, oh, Castlevania. I think actually the Sega Genesis one is on the Super. So the Switch has like, if you can buy like the collection of Castlevania stuff. Welcome to the Castlevania podcast. And there's one version I never heard of, and I was like, this is so much fun. And I think that's actually the Sega Genesis one. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Because I was like, I've never seen this before. And then I played something, and I was playing. I'm like, this is the one that I played on the Switch that I never heard of. And I think it's on the Genesis.
Well, I mean, like, it's such a prolific game. I don't really think I played it that much, but like to the point that now there's a term like Metroidvania. Have you heard this?
No.
In video gaming? Metroidvania, like Metroid and Castlevania put together. I think it's the concept of a platformer game, but you can go back and forth, right? It's not like how Mario is kind of a platformer where you run in one direction, and like Castlevania, you could go back in places, right?
Zigzag. Ninja Turtles was like that on the NES as well.
That's true. That's true. So
that's Metrovania. Metroid was a game that I got into. I mean, when I was a kid, but I got re-into it like when the one came out for the 3DS. I was obsessed with it for like a couple months. Like I played them all. I was like, I'm just gonna play all the Metroid I can. So, by the way, Brie Larson is up for the role in Metroid.
Really?
No, but that's like her dream role, and I would love it because YouTube would probably get caught on fire
because Disney Plus has Star now. All of a sudden, FX show started popping up on there, so it's always sunny, and now the League. So like my roommate Joe and I have just been marathoning that show. Like it's like you come into the room and it's on. But there's a couple episodes where Brie Larson's on it, and you're like, wow, little did you know. Like
the League or Sunny?
She's on the League for like 2 episodes.
Really?
And she's younger. That show's like early.
It's old
2010s.
Yeah, it's older than I always think of it as like a new show, but it's not at all.
No, yeah, it's been out. It's been done for a while. Like it's like, oh my god, look at her. It's like you have no idea what's about to happen to you soon.
She was really good in Room. The Room, the Good Room movie. The Good Room movie. Yeah. She was really good in that. Yeah, we talked toys, Castlevania.
Hey man, Star Wars is the reason that we give a shit about. Excuse my language. About like
I'm not bleeding
items.
Oh, but get this. I can't wait. I got this Kylo Ren. I just looked up. I got this Kylo Ren and Rey Starkiller base. So I got the Black Series Rey for cheap at EB Games, but the Kylo Ren I got at Kmart in New York, in Manhattan. We're in Manhattan and in Kmart.
Kmart.
And I'm walking. We were buying. Here's why we all went. This was like when Rogue One came out. So we were in New York. There was like 5 of us in one hotel room, and we needed an air mattress. So we went into a Kmart to get an air mattress. And I was like, well, I got to go down the toy aisle.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So I went down, and in Canada, I always saw the Rey, but I never saw the Kylo Ren on the Starkiller base. Like it's a bigger one, right? Like it's Kylo Ren like this, and I wanted, and it was there, and it was way cheaper than a Black Series is here. And I turned to Erin, and she goes, "Just get the damn thing." So I grabbed it, and it was I carried it. It's still in the box in like mint condition, but I'm gonna tear that box open. I'm gonna have them both side by side, and I can't wait because I have a wall of. You'll see it when in 17 years when I get my podcast wall done. But I'm gonna have a wall, half of it. I'm not gonna ever. I'm gonna mention it before, but not when it's done because there's gonna be one wall of Reylo, and it's just gonna be like the Reylo wall, and they won't be kissing or anything. They're just gonna be together, and eagle-eye viewers will notice the wall of Reylo, and they'll be like, that's the Reylo wall right there. And then I'm going to have like a Praetorian Guard wall and a Darth Maul. And not really. There's only like one wall.
A Maul wall.
It's just going to be a Star Wars wall, but there's one part that's just going to be Rey and Kylo the whole way down. And I'm not going to mention it. And it'll probably also be cut off on the screen. We'll do that. Is it raining where you are? Let's bring into the weather report.
No, it rained earlier today. It's been weird. Oh no! What am I saying? I'm thinking it's still Sunday.
Yeah,
it rained for most of the day.
Yeah, same.
I feel bad because here in Ontario they moved March break to April, and now all the teachers and students are stuck inside yet again.
I guess it's literally
They couldn't go
spring
anywhere.
break at this point.
Yeah, spring break. Woo, spring break.
Spring break. All the kids should
yeah.
have to watch Spring Breakers.
Why are you so suspicious? Or like, yeah, that's amazing how like in the popularity of Among Us, the term sus has become a thing in the. It's like, oh, that guy's suspicious. He's sus. But in Spring Breakers, it's like, why are you so suspicious?
I played Among Us once. I think that's the one where you're those little like you look like the Mario 2 guys. I don't understand the game, and I didn't when I played it. And I pretended to because I was playing with kids, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is fun." And I was like, "I don't know what's going on. Where's the Goomba?"
I think if you don't play with a group of people that are taking it seriously, it's not really that fun.
They were all very into it, and I have no idea what was going on.
Have to be.
I have no idea what was going on. They're like, "Yeah, who's the killer?" I was like, "There's a killer?"
Yeah.
I don't get it.
That's the whole point.
No, I understand. I don't know. I think I was making pizza, so I was only like half into it.
Yeah. It's I
don't know. It's $6 on the Switch,
which I think is annoying because it's free on mobile. I'm like, come on.
Have you got Pac-Man 99? I haven't got it yet.
No. I don't really go into I still pay for my subscription, but like I don't get wound up because like the Mario 99. Is Pac-Man 99 the same thing?
I didn't like that. I didn't play
35. Yeah. But I've been like I'll play like the emulator for Super Nintendo. But.
Oh, that's all I do. I just play it's funny. I'll go on my Switch and I'll play like Castlevania, like a NES or SNES, and then I'll come in here and I got my minis up and I'm just playing the exact same games.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? I'm like, the mood that I'm in dictates what I'm playing it on. I haven't plugged my Switch into a TV in a year.
Yeah.
Because it broke and I had to get it fixed, and I've been nervous to put in any kind of cable. Ooh, look at you. Is that a light? Is that a Switch Lite?
No, it's a regular one. I just got different controllers.
Oh, that's actually slick.
Yeah, my Joy-Cons broke, so these are slightly cheaper and they're Nintendo approved. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. I'm the same. Like I don't know if it's COVID where it's just like I don't want to learn new things. I just want to stick in some like still we can come out of the pod. Replaying Stardew Valley for the third time. Like
was it January, February. I played a lot of PlayStation. I played Arkham, the first Arkham game I played. I beat it, Brock. And then I started playing the second one because I got a pack of like 3 of them for like $16. And I had the second one on the Xbox and I hated my life. So I went back to it. I'm like, I'm not going to hate my life. I'm going to do it this time. And I got past the part that I couldn't get past on the Xbox. And Brock, let me tell you, it is within the first 2 seconds of the game. I didn't realize how soon it was into the game until after I played it. Now I'm like, wow, I didn't get anywhere. But I beat that. Now I'm really early on still, and I'm just frustrated, so I stopped. But I beat that. I beat like 3 video games. Can you believe that? Like 3 like games that were like took a while to beat. I beat them. And Fallen Order was one of them. But Aaron kind of beat that. But I played Vader at the end, so technically I beat it. So whatever. Yeah. But 3 video games I beat. Like that's massive. And I think I'm like a quarter of the way into The Witcher 3. And I think I'm like a third into Spider-Man. So
see, I wish I had a PS4 just to play Spider-Man.
It's fine. I want the Miles Morales game, but I can't get it till I beat Spider-Man. But then I'm pissed off because I bought Spider-Man for cheap when it first came out, and now I'm like, well, now I want all the add-ons. Why don't I just get the Game of the Year edition? It's probably cheaper.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of stopped playing that because I'm like, well, if I keep here, my save isn't going to continue to the one that I get. So I'm torn. But I want Miles Morales for sure. It's a lot of fun. Great game. I still haven't played Squadrons yet, though. I haven't played Star Wars Squadrons. I'm not sure if that's.
Yeah, I haven't played it since I bought it.
Yeah, you. I'm not sure if it's up my alley or not. I'm not a flying video game kind of guy.
Like Switch has ruined me for other gaming platforms because I'm like, I can just play this wherever I want. I don't have to go downstairs and turn on my Xbox.
No, it's
which is a bummer because I think the Xbox Game Pass is a really great deal, but it's like if you're not playing it every day, then like you're wasting.
So is the Game Pass like Netflix? Pretty
well. There's a bunch of stuff on there that's worth playing, and then like all these like little indie games, and like it's worth it if you're gonna play your Xbox every single day. If you're not, then like, well,
yeah, that's I think pricey. PlayStation has something similar. I think that's a genius way of
absolutely,
like, just genius. I'd totally be down for. I obviously don't have the PlayStation one if it's similar, but because like you said, if you're not playing it every day, it's not worth it. And you know, I beat 3 PlayStation games for the first time I think since I got in the 6 years I've had it. It's
yeah. But
they were fun though. I will admit that they were actually when I lowered the difficulty.
Yeah,
and they became a lot of fun because they're hard, man. They are hard, even on low difficulty. I'm like, this is insane.
They don't even call it easy anymore. It's just like, are you more interested in the storyline or a challenge?
Which I'm not really like a storyline guy in video games, but these ones I'm like, I'm having fun. Like it's more like solving. Like I really like the Riddler stuff where it's like solve the riddle. I'm like, oh okay, I'll solve that. But I think because it's on easy, it's like a super easy riddle.
Sure.
That I would like to have harder, but I can't fight the goons. Like I just can't do it. I'm terrible at it. Like and like the silent mode, I'm not a silent mode guy either. I'm a Super Mario Brother guy where you jump, you don't worry about stealth. You worry about just get to the next castle. So so the easy mode's really great for not needing to be on stealth. There's one level that would have been a lot of fun if it was harder. And then I couldn't do it because tear gas, nah.
Did you? I guess we should turn it back to Star Wars. Did you see? I just saw it before the show. Some pictures from Andor leaked.
I didn't look at them. I saw that there was a post, and I didn't look at them.
It's nothing much missed. It's just like, look, they're shooting stuff. I mean, I'm sure people will start dissecting and be like, look, you can see Mark Hamill's hand right here. It looked cool. I think people were saying it looked like Canto Bight a little bit. But like, there's clearly like there are Imperial officers with the white coats and the little hat like Krennic. So cool.
I'm down with Star Wars returning to Canto Bight. I think it exists. It exists in the universe. I have no problem when they go back to Tatooine. That's really the only planet they've ever gone back to. I have no problem when they go back there. I have no problem if they go to Canto Bight again. Hoth would be an interesting one too because that's like you're right on that timeline when they'd be building that Rebel base on Hoth. So it might even be cool if he has to like go to Hoth and check out this. We're building a base. Go see the operation. Like I'm not that's terribly written. I hope they don't do that. But like they could theoretically put it into the show if they wanted to because it matches up in the timeline. So. Obviously you can't go to Dagobah, but like everyone complains when the world shrinks with worlds and characters, but at the same time, these are the reason why we love it is because of the worlds and characters that we know. So why not use that to your advantage? If you need to create a new planet, you do so. But if you don't, just use one that exists. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, Canto Bight is just so interesting looking. I remember like the picture of like the aliens in the background that they had for Vanity Fair. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. It's just
and that would be like what 30, 40 years before we see it.
Yeah.
So what is Canto Bight 30, 40 years ago?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome if it wasn't. It was like it's the Empire that makes it so prolific or whatever, and it's like a totally different place. Oh man,
the Empire's here to put in casinos. What? Yeah.
But like they even said like Andor is going to be like a spy movie, so it's similar to maybe like Bond. It's like that's like it looks like Casino Royale, so it's just like just go there.
Yeah, The Andor show is so curious because it's like the Obi-Wan we all kind of knew, and then the Ahsoka and Boba Fett was a surprise, but it makes you're like, oh yeah, of course they're doing a Boba Fett show. They introduced Boba Fett, but Andor was kind of like, and we're also going to give you Andor, the dead character from Rogue One. You're like, wow, you're doing that. All right, it's just it's and because we know so little about that character, they could do anything they want. As long as he's in that war fight since he was 6 years old, they could do whatever they want with that character in that time period, and it can't really change him. It might show him, and he kills the guy right in Rogue One, so you can play with that a lot. I haven't seen the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, but Captain America, spoiler alert! Whoa, dude!
You read my mind every time. It's like I was just gonna bring that up because I know you haven't watched the show, but like as I watch the show, I'm like, could Andor be like this show? Because like Winter Soldier and Falcon, it's like at their core, they're soldiers. And like the new Captain America is a soldier as well. And so it's like the series seems to be dealing with PTSDs. Like what does a soldier do when they don't have a war to fight anymore? So it's just like, it would be interesting if they could make something, maybe not that theme, but like, they keep saying Andor is gonna be like spies and espionage and all that, and like could it be similar to that, where it's like all these cool little characters that you've seen maybe in other things or just like background, because that's what they're doing great in Falcon and Winter Soldier. They're like, here's Agent Carter, and like here's how she's interesting now, and like here's Zemo, and here's how he's interesting now, and then like all these extra little characters that have popped up in Captain America stuff. And it's like, yeah, cool. Like, yeah, I give it all. Like, Batrock's back. Cool. I'm in. Like, it's too bad they didn't kill off. I think they killed off Crossbones. Like, he's a great Captain America character that can just keep coming back. In the 90s, he was like the go-to over like Red Skull. So it's just like, could they do that with Andor? I think they could, but I don't know what the vibe of that is. Like, the thing, you can make a Falcon and Winter Soldier because we're set up. We're like, we know where these characters are right now, what they've gone through, even though they're like ancillarily, they're not the main like cast when you think about it. I know the one movie is called The Winter Soldier, but like it's more about Captain America than anything else. So like, is there enough of a setup for Andor to be that kind of show? I don't know. I'm interested because it's like, it feels like Star Wars take on these shows that they've been throwing out at Marvel. So,
yeah, I guess it depends on what their hook is for the show, and we obviously have no idea what that is. I was going to say something about the Falcon and the Disney Plus shows. Oh, yeah, what I was going to say is my favorite thing about the Falcon and Winter Soldier is that I haven't seen a single episode, but I'm pretty sure I know every single thing that's happened. And I haven't even, and the thing is, it's not even like I'm searching for it. I'll be on like the goldengirls.com and it'll be all about the Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I know what's happened. Like, I'm going to watch, I haven't watched it. I probably will. But I feel like I know exactly what's happening, and I forget that it's Friday sometimes, and I log online. I'm like, oh, I guess there was a new Falcon and Winter Soldier show today because now I know the entire plot, and I've been online for 36 seconds. It's ridiculous how I understand being excited and you want to talk about it, but DMs, man, DM.
Yeah. It's and nobody's gonna stop that because it's like Disney and Marvel love that because it's like, oh, people care about this and more people will go to Disney Plus.
Yeah, the minute every week they're trending, right? And you see like the emoji beside it. That's what they live for. It's free publicity. You can't beat it. But it's also what I hated about The Mandalorian is like, well, now I gotta wake up at 2 a.m., wait an hour, watch it at 3, because at 3:01 the entire plot is spoiled.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't want to watch it right away because I have a busy day ahead of me and I want to sit down and relax and watch it. Then it's like, well, I can't, if you can't look at anything online for an entire day or it's over. And it's just, I don't know. You know what? I'm a grumpy old man and I'm going to take it. I'm wearing a Mario sweater.
Yeah, it's interesting. So it's like, hooray! I want to know more about Andor for sure. But
Yeah, I can't wait. But Canto Bite,
obviously,
man. Take me to Canto Bite and roll the
yeah,
die.
I think that's a really good
Yeah.
thing to do.
Brilliant. Whoever thought of it, Ryan Johnson. Hey-oh, hey-oh,
Hey-oh.
Hey, he just signed a Netflix deal for Knives Out 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for $87 gazillion.
I know. I'm just like, I feel like he's just doing this to spite Star Wars fans. It's like, hey, I know what I'm doing. So
I honestly don't think his trilogy is a thought. Not just for anyone involved. He's like, I pitched it, they liked it. Star Wars fans or whatever. I did Knives Out. I really like this. I created this from scratch. I can do whatever I want with it. I'm gonna keep going. Good for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for him. And maybe he'll come back and be like, I'll do Star Wars now because my Knives Out trilogy just made $100 gazillion on Netflix.
Exactly.
So we'll see. But anyway, you want to go to the odds?
Let's do it.
Sir, the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Never Tell Me the Odds, brought to you by these wonderful people. If you want to support us, why wouldn't you? We're the best.
I can figure a few reasons why they wouldn't want to support us.
We didn't talk about Star Wars for most of the show. Go on down to patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast and check out what we got. You can support us, and we would greatly appreciate it. Just as much as we appreciate these following people: Heidi Feder, executive producer, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Randy Kenobi, Mary Kristen Nathan, Jeff Wilson, Phil Stanifor, Sooner Thrawn, Scott D, Josh Price, Matt W,
Rez, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, D. Raven, Spencer, Cosmic Girl 02, Gleek Play 1, Disney Desi, Charlotte, Kayla Davis, Aaron Quinton, the Girls with Sabers, and of course the Den of Nerds.
Den of Nerds.
You almost lost it. I almost didn't get it, but I got it.
What?
I almost missed my list. As per usual. I almost always miss the list. Have you noticed that? I'm like, because I'm looking at the odds. And today's odds are unique.
When you're online,
if any Patrons have an odd that they like us to give out, let us know.
Yeah. When you're online, do you make up a name for yourself, or do you just put like James Brazili?
Like online where?
I don't know. Like, I guess on Twitter we kind of have different things, but it's like I'm always curious. Like Cosmic Girl and like Gleek Play, Sooner Thrawn. It's like I'm not. I think it's cool names. I'm just like, it's something I haven't done in a long time.
Sometimes I use Petsafina. It depends.
Yeah, you do. That's right.
I guess it depends, but I think not using your name a lot of times in today's society makes sense.
I remember like just being at the beginning of the internet was like such a huge deal. But I just put BF Smink, except for on LinkedIn where I'm Cool Guy 69.
Yeah,
so
so
just a thought I had, just throwing out there. I'm not criticizing. You guys have wonderful names, except for Den of Nerds. You can get out of here. So, what are the odds today?
The odds that we are recording. Yeah, we are. We are.
Oh, God.
Good news. Today's our first odd. Blue Leader will play a large role in Andor.
Oof, I hope
What's
so.
Blue Leader's name? Do you know it? Okay, we are not
Dave.
Star Wars fans. We are fake Star Wars fans. Let me do this. Ready? Blue Leader.
I feel like you'll say it and I'll be like, yeah, that sounds familiar. I'm going to go with Dev.
Antok Merrick.
I was going to say an M name. Damn, she should have waited for me to say.
General
Antok.
Merrick. Because it's actually General Merrick. So the odds of General Merrick playing a large role with that mustache in Andor.
I hope 85%. I hope they bring back all these people we saw in the background. I hope we get, what was the alien That's in the back. Pow.
Oh, Pow. There's Pow.
Yeah, I hope we get all of that.
My favorite guy. Pow was Pow was my favorite, but he got no love. It was like there was no Pow Funko Pop.
And then Space Monkey.
Biston was awesome.
Biston, yeah.
But Pow was my boy, but they didn't do anything for Pow. But Biston got the love, so I do have a Biston Funko.
I think they'll do us a disservice if we don't get to learn all those back. Like that's exactly what's happening in Falcon and Winter Soldier. We see perfect. It's the exact analog of what they need to do with Andor, where like all those characters you saw in the thing, it's like, well, they're cool looking. I want to learn. No, they get blown up. So it's just like, imagine we get to know the real Red 5 prior, like it's stuff like that. It's like you just put that in and then have another storyline going on. You're like, perfection.
I agree. Like, Disney, get on it.
Like Michael Fassbender, perfection.
Did you give a number?
Yeah, 85. Sorry.
85. I'm gonna go 83. No, I'm gonna go large roll though. I'm gonna go 83%. A roll for sure, but a large roll, I don't know. Next on the odds, Boba Fett will not be the big crime lord taking over for Jabba or Bib Fortuna immediately. We'll see there'll be a progression there. So Boba Fett will not be the big crime lord when we first get into the book of Boba Fett.
So what is like the story going to be? Is it going to be about like when it says book of Boba Fett?
Just him sitting on a chair.
Yeah, like it's like, are we just going to pick up where we see at the end of Mandalorian season 2? Or are we going to see how he escaped Sarlacc Pit? Or is it both? Are we going to see, I don't know. I'm very curious. So I'm going to go with 90% because I think like every Star Wars movie can't just give you that thing right away. So
I'm going to go 63%. I don't think he's going to be the crime lord right away. I kind of feel like that PS at the end of Mandalorian might have just been for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, at the same time, it might not have been, but it could have just been like, "Hey, this is like your little tease so that you know what's going to be going on," and maybe that's not how it starts. So, yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. Nomadland, by the way, is on Disney Plus. I just got the email.
Yep.
Right now,
I started watching it. I was just not in the right mood for it.
No, I feel like that one you're gonna have to be an A.
Yeah.
Finally, the Book of Boba Fett will have 2 shows spun off from it. So 2 characters from the Book of Boba Fett will get their own Disney Plus series.
I mean, yeah, 100%. But like at the same note, I don't want too many spin-offs off this like little universe of like the Mandalorian. You know what I mean? Like I want more shows, but like let's try some other things.
I'm gonna go 37%.
I'm gonna go 20%.
You're going to go low. I don't know if we're going to get spin-offs from the show. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're getting. I hope it's good. That is my hope.
Yeah.
And I hope that he gets a time machine, flies back in time and shoots Andor in the face, and then all of Star Wars doesn't happen.
There's a multiverse.
They were right on. We got this covered. And then they go to the world between worlds. And they pull Jabba out, and now he's alive.
And then they do a Deadpool 2 ending where, like, Mandalorian goes back and shoots Rian Johnson, and then J.J. Abrams, and none of it happens.
All right, you ready for the news?
Let's do it.
Holla news, da 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 da. Holla news, da 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 da. Holla da 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 da.
Hi, Republic fans. Today's news is for you. Hollow news, the news you need to know right now. I have not forgotten. Revealed today, this week, StarWars.com showed the new crop of storylines are coming up for the High Republic. Specifically, it's going to be based around the Republic Fair, meant as a symbol of the unification and inclusion of the Republic and its newest member planets, as well as a place to share knowledge, technology, and even seeds. So it apparently is a fair, like a country fair. Tens of thousands of. It's going to be It's a county fair, just a county that tens of thousands of light years long. And there will be 2 new villains fighting the High Republic that emerge in the first wave of stories. The plant life-like continuing scourge called the Drengir, and the Space Mars known as the Nile. So check that out. I mean, we've seen a lot of the covers of this. The Heart of the Drengir storyline will be going on in the Marvel Comics, as well as the IDW will be starting a new storyline with their Star Wars. I believe the Star Wars anime, I think that Justina Ireland is involved in, will be coming out as well, but we will finally get our first Kevin Scott novel, The Rising Storm, the young adult Race to Crash Point Tower by Daniel Jose Older, and Out of the Darkness by Justina Ireland, which will, I believe, continue the storyline of what Into the Darkness was. That's Claudia Gray. My mistake. I'm on the wrong one. It's just all these writers are doing so many different things. So check it out. I need to finish this current chapter of High Republic because it's exciting stuff. Mandalorian actress Katie Sackhoff still doesn't know whether she will be in the be able to return in any of the Star Wars universe. She voiced Bo-Katan, as we all know, in Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, and was just in Mandalorian. She's become a huge favorite, but for what she knows, she's probably not going to be anything else. I believe she's supposed to be in Bad Batch, but we haven't really seen anything from that, and that's coming out soon. But as of right now, there doesn't seem to be any Bo-Katan on the horizon. So that's her last name. And as I mentioned before, Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest was a huge hit last weekend, giving fans and collectors a closer look at upcoming products. And one of the biggest announcements they made was Hasbro will be putting the power in the hands of the fans with the Star Wars Vintage Collection Vote. Vote from the vaults. It will consist of 5 legendary vintage collection figures that are always sought out and valued, and they will be giving a chance to have a second life. The vote for the vault is as follows. Star Wars fans, you are our only hope. Starting now through April 23rd, we would need you to vote on which figure from the Star Wars Vintage Collection Vault comes back. The winning figure will be announced later this spring and will receive a new photo reel deco where applicable. So to vote, go to comment hashtag Star Wars, vote for the vault, plus the figure name that you want in any social media, I believe. Between now and April 23rd at midnight, you can do a vote. So that's fun. I don't know what the figures are. You think I would write it down, but I did not. So go check it out because I'm sure there's going to be some awesome figures. And this has been your Holo News.
Great times.
Great oldies. Boom.
News. You can't beat the news.
News.
If you can't beat the news, you join the news. Am I right?
Yeah. Cutting and pasting hasn't been this good in years.
Can you send me the links to those articles?
Never.
Top 5.
Top 5. What's top 5 today, James?
It's top 5 Boba Fett moments. I don't know.
Ooh!
Has he had 5 moments? Hell.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we're going to find out. My number 5. My number 5 is from a comic book, and it's when he informs Lord Vader that his son is a Skywalker.
I was going to make it number 4, but let's be
twins
in the same ballpark. I'm going to say that too. Epic. Like, I was just like, oh, wow, that's cool. Like, comic book series, every once in a while it drops something and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great moment. My number 4 is... It's in Attack of the Clones when he picks up Jango's head. It's weird that it's
and
kind of an iconic
never
shot.
Seen again.
It's kind of funny that it's an iconic shot, though. It's like there's a severed head in that helmet that he's picking up.
I think someone like put it through After Effects and took that scene and then like
that the head falls.
He's holding it and the head falls out.
It's so good. But it is a good moment though, because that's the passing of the torch, quite literally.
That whole moment, and then you never see him again. I guess he's too young, but there's never like a retribution between Boba Fett and Mace Windu. But it's like,
he doesn't have
that would have
chance.
been great.
Or maybe he will.
That I think they should definitely touch on.
What if that's the plot of the
Book
of Boba Fett? It's him trying to hunt down Mace Windu, who he found out is alive somewhere.
Yeah, I would love it. I'll be in. I was just like, perfect. It's like what is it called when it like a bottle episode or whatever when like it has nothing to do with anything else. Like, just do the whole series on that. Fantastic.
Yeah.
My number 4 is going to be first appearance Boba Fett in the holiday special.
Oh yeah.
Those colors that should have continued. That I forget what that gun's called with the spikes that he has in the actual Mandalorian.
That's my number 3, by the way, so we can.
Oh yeah,
Go buy it because it's a great.
Fantastic.
I have the Funko Pop of that holiday special figure, and
so good.
and that's on Disney Plus now, is it not? That show?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. You should watch it because it's awesome. And he's also, he's not. This is not on my list, but he's also on Droids, the cartoon Droids. Boba Fett makes an appearance on Droids. You should definitely watch that.
My number 3, it's got to be the ending sequence in Mandalorian season 2, where
That's my
we're
number
announced
2.
Book of Boba Fett. Oh, wow, wow! Just look great, and you're just like, yeah,
Yeah, it's beautiful, and I love it. And that's my number 2. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is going to be
Droids.
the first appearance in Empire Strikes Back, where just like that scene where just they're all standing there, is like no disintegration.
Yeah.
But just seeing all the bounty hunters standing side by side, you're like, wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. My number 1 was originally his beating up the stormtroopers in The Mandalorian. When he first arrives on that planet, when Baby Yoda is like, whatever he's doing. But I'm going to change it because a better one caught my mind, and that is his appearance on the show Droids. I'm just going to push Boba Fett. And he's like, I'm Boba Fett. Watch him on Droids. You will not be disappointed. That's my top 5.
My number 1 is going to be when he goes into the Sarlacc pit. Okay, goodbye.
And he was never seen from again until he came back. He came back, became Aquaman's father, worked at a resort and couples retreat, and then move on. All right. That is our top 5. Let us know what your top 5 are in the comments below or in the live chat. Also, let us know your odds. If you didn't tell us your odds, let us know what your odds are. We'd love to hear them. It's a lot of fun. Brock, you online shopping tonight for some Star Wars figures?
No, is that actually happening tonight?
No, I'm just trying to tie it back into our opening conversation.
Oh, I see. No,
So
I have
Are you
no
going to go on
money.
the Amazon or .ca? And
I will say this. I do like to look things up.
Yeah.
And to see, oh, what price are they? Or do they have this? Or do they have that? And I'm like, oh, very cool. And that's it.
Fair enough. I will not be doing that either because I am a grown man. Phasma bobblehead.
If this was like a show and there was like closed captioning, is like plastic sound of plastic knocking against the
people listening right now are like, what was that? Everyone's looking down at their like cup holder in their car. Like, what? Do I have a plastic cup in here filled with ice? Anyway, episode 211. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just as like we're steamrolling to 300. We should be there in the next 2 years.
Perfect.
Hey, maybe there'll be a celebration.
We'll have
by
a new
then.
movie.
Huh?
We'll have a new movie by then.
Maybe if Patty Jenkins hasn't been let go by then. Oh, wait, hold on. Hello? Yeah. Okay. Really? All right. Kathleen Kennedy was just fired.
Oh my goodness!
Breaking news. Breaking news. She was fired.
How many days?
She was too successful. They had to let her go.
Yeah. She's just like, you know what? The Mandalorian did too well.
She's like, I was trying to crash the company to the ground. How dare there be a
I knew it.
A show that's successful. And so so she is.
Imagine she did announce that. I was like, I've been trying to destroy this thing because I hate Star Wars. And then like a million memes are like, I knew it. Or like it's like Leonardo DiCaprio where he's pointing in. He's like, I knew it.
And then Freddie Prinze Jr. shows up and rips off her mask, and she ends up being Scrappy Doo the whole time.
Wouldn't go.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.